everybody. Your horror host Inkarnate, as well as my good pal Tramadom, we wanted to do something a little different for a movie that we have been excited about. I mean, I've been looking forward to The Evil Dead Rise since I've been following each of the images, the news pieces, because I was genuinely curious about all of this. Tramadon has been following this since the trailer. Right. So you've seen my gut reaction to this movie. You saw me do a side-by-side comparison between it as well as Scream. You know from our watch party of Evil Dead last week, serving as an intro to this movie. You know that we're excited about this. So we wanted to do a live stream of our preview for Evil Dead on our way to go watch the movie at a drive-in theater. But for the umpteenth time, for the third freaking time, we try to watch a good quality horror movie at Warwick Drive-In Theater, and they're not showing it. But they'll happily show Renfield for some reason, but that's neither here nor there. I wanted to do this live stream either on our way to the drive-in theater or at the drive-in theater itself, because from my experience, they do have Wi-Fi there, but we wanted to bring this to you anyway. So this is something new that we're doing for this particular movie. I felt that, hey, if we weren't going to be able to finally do a stream of a film at a movie theater, at a drive-in theater, you know what? Let's still keep to something special, because I think that this movie warrants it. So this is one of two parts of what I have planned for this movie and tonight in particular, opening night. So we're doing a preview, which I'm calling Precaution, and we're gonna do our wrap up of what we think of the movie afterwards, and that's gonna be our AfterShock. So we're heading out pretty soon to catch the movie in my town for its start time, and once we're out, we're gonna head right back here and do our impression of what we thought of the movie. So I guess Tramadom, we usually do for our watch parties. We usually do a totem pole of what my Tramadoms and what your film rating is for whatever movie we happen to be watching, and it's always bottom of the barrel, shallow grave, or high stakes. So Tramadom, you don't need to necessarily use what we use for the totem pole, but what do you think of the film? What do you think? Do you have any predictions? What are your thoughts?
I don't have any predictions. I have apprehensions.
Go on.
I don't want them to Salt Bay it.
Gotcha.
You know, you see Salt Bay, you see a whole lot of golden stuff, and he's got panache, and it's all show.
Yeah.
But then when you get there, you're paying $3,500 for something that, I mean, you could have cooked by yourself at home using dog meat and glitter.
Don't forget about the overpriced popcorn.
Yeah, you know, there is that too. But with that being said, I do accept the fact that traditional horror, the genre that we grew up loving, is slowly dying. And this seems to kind of catch both. The ambiance of what we're used to and we know and we love and what we waste our time doing every single week.
Yeah.
You know, whether we love or we love to hate it.
Yes.
And I'm hoping that it turns out like that.
Yeah.
You know, so even if it's not 1,000, if it's a nice blend, and it's not going to beat us to death, virtue signaling, I'm all for it. I got to say shallow for this one. I hope I'm wrong.
Shallow?
In the best of ways.
Okay, but shallow's mid, just so you know.
Mid. I don't want to completely downplay it, because it does look like they're putting in some effort. I'm just hoping all the juiciest parts are not in the trailer.
Yeah, I mean, let's be honest. I would venture to say that since the 90s, that's been a concern. Ever since the advent of digital effects, the worry has been that everything that you're going to like, they've already spoiled in the trailer. Because and keep something in mind.
Okay.
I am not a legacy fan of the Evil Dead.
Nor am I.
I'm not crazy about the first two movies. I like the third film, the remake, and if this movie hits it out of the park the way that I imagine that it will, this will be the third entry in the live action adaptations that I actually like, which would be exactly half of the movie. I have to hope that they have creative uses of gore and torture and punishment and kills in the movie. And the fact that it's in an apartment building, it's almost like turning the apartment against the people, against the residents, against the family. So in
what regards?
Who knows, like flying furniture. I mean, you've seen the blood pouring out of the elevator. You could have other apartment residents that become possessed.
Oh, tenants, yeah. Other tenants.
You could have, a hallway turn into like the insides of a rib cage or something like that. Just really morbid and hellish.
Yeah.
So, as gullible as this might sound, I am going high stakes with this one. I did inform Traumadom that, the upcoming Stephen King Boogeyman trailer that just dropped does provide hope that there is something more to 2023 in terms of horror to look forward to. I only mentioned another film because for all of 2023, for nearly 4 months, Traumadom and I were like, Jesus, it's Evil Dead Rise, and then that's it.
Yeah,
we'll maybe go watch a movie or two, but I mean, look at the beginning of the year. There was Megan and Scream 6. Ugh. So, Boogeyman aside, we were hedging our bets on this one. We were hoping that it was going to deliver. I still am. Obviously, I'm very optimistic about this film. Like I said in my predictions and my rant that I posted yesterday, the fact that Evil Dead Rise is going after the Evil Dead remake tone it blows my mind. That is I'm so appreciative of it, and take that from someone who's not a legacy fan, someone who hasn't been with this franchise, lives and breathes by it. That gives me hope for this film. Now, as far as predictions, I'm gonna
hear this.
I'm gonna skip to the end. I would like to see the evil book end up somewhere else by the end, and I say that because it's coming out of the cabin, it's going to an apartment building. I would usually something like that. I would say they're just going for sequel bait, but I like the idea, the thought of not just an evil that circulates and spreads, but what horrors and carnage it unleashes, to me, is appealing. And let's be honest, the Necronomicon is more uncancelable than Ezra Miller. So the thought that it could end up in other places and not just do the same thing over and over again, because no, but it could unleash different kinds of ways to kill and torture people. That to me is really appealing, and all from a book. It's almost like the book itself has this area effect where it can twist and manipulate and contort reality and people too.
Yeah.
So it's almost the evil. Now that we're talking about this, the Necronomicon in other places can turn both characters and setting and warp them like a funhouse mirror. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like the most twisted, effed up versions of themselves this book can create. And like I mentioned in my Scream versus Evil Dead, A Tale of Two series, a change of setting for Scream did nothing, and I knew it wouldn't. But
made it worse, if anything.
Yeah, just more bland. But a change of scenery for this franchise opens it up like a storybook or a nightmarish Bible to new possibilities, and you don't get that often. It would almost be like the puzzle box from Hellraiser. Yeah. Depending on where it went, what setting it was in, it would just unleash different kinds of horrors and tortures.
Yeah. Because I,
Now,
like you, I'm not a big gore hound.
yeah,
But I do like the psychological twists and turns of this. Now, bringing it to a new setting, I am grateful that they rarely do this.
yes,
Because it does keep it more authentic,
yeah,
you know? And you don't want to see a bad movie spread around all over the place,
yep, big time.
you know? A
Agreed.
crappy premise is going to be crappy no matter what property it's on.
Right.
But this, I do agree. Like, it's going to be good to take it out of a cabin and instead of trying to make up some lame story as to why a total bunch of strangers are yet again at this cabin.
Yeah, it's not
You
Evil
know?
Evil Dead Takes Manhattan or Evil Dead in Space.
Exactly.
So,
You know,
like,
or Evil Dead versus whatever.
yeah,
You know?
yeah.
It's not going against another movie. It's
Yeah, this change of pace, like, usually when, to your point, whenever series make a change, it's almost out of desperation because they've exhausted everything else. And that's where you get Jason X, and that's where you get Leprechaun in Space, and that's where you get Hellraiser on the internet. Yes, that was an actual movie. Like, this is making that change for a reason, and for the benefit of the franchise. And you just don't get that often or enough. So I'm thrilled that there seems to be creativity behind this. This is not a move that's made out of pure desperation. Please like us, please go watch it. Like, it feels like something that can give a genuine twist and a level of intrigue because that we just don't get that enough with franchises, and it appearing as something that's beneficial for the series. And again, not to be repetitive, we just saw a change of scenery for the second time in the series in Scream. That did nothing. That didn't do anything.
that is genuine kill.
Oh god. Anyway,
I just hope if anything, I just want this to renew my faith in A-list movies.
yeah,
And just in general. It doesn't have to be horror. Just in general.
agreed.
Now, whenever I look for anything, it's usually B or C ratings.
Yeah.
Legacy or otherwise.
Right.
You know, you look at the Evil Dead. You know, a bunch of them sucked. And then you showed me the last one. Which one was this? The Evil Dead
Remake. It was just called Evil Dead.
Evil Dead remake. Alright, that one was really good, and I was surprised to hear that it was not rated at an A.
Shocking, isn't it?
Yeah. Antlers, not an A. Untraceable, not an A. None of these movies that were genuinely good movies were an A. I would have given it an A despite the B-list aura.
Uh-huh.
You know? Not A-list actors, not A-list graphics, not A-list effects, but still A movie quality. And I just want more than just a watchable movie.
Yeah, and I think that this will be... I think that our eyes are going to be glued to the screen watching this particular one. I don't think that this is just going to be something watchable. As far as the characters are concerned, I genuinely think that this will be a bold prediction, but I think that the mother who's possessed, the redhead, I think that she has the right look, and maybe similar to Evil Dead Remake, there's going to be like a standard monster instead of everybody gets possessed. Like, it's almost like she's going to be the head vampire, let's say.
Yeah.
There may be other people that do get possessed, and that would only make sense, but for the second time in the series since the remake, I think that there's going to be a head vampire or a head deadite. And I think that she, like I said in my gut reaction, I think that she has just everything, like the morbid things that she says to her kids and how she like almost torments these people that she obviously loves and cares about, but while she's possessed, she's just going to say like the most gnarly things to them, the way that, you know, the forces of darkness
of these
would.
Evil Dead movies say some pretty gnarly things.
Right, as we
Your
saw through
sister's
the
getting
remake.
raped in hell. Like,
Right.
dude, that was even that took me back. I was like, whoa, man.
Right. So I think
Come out,
that
let mommy give you a
considering
big
that
kiss.
she's gonna be like the consistent villain throughout, I think that we're looking at the makings of a horror icon. I will make that bold prediction.
Ooh.
And the sister, who's gonna be like the hero, I'm assuming, like from the trailer, she seems like someone that you want to root for. I'm hoping that she gives a good to great performance. That way, she's not just serviceable. Like, she's not just okay. I think that she's going to give like an endearing performance, so that you're rooting for her. Do some of the other teenagers look a little, of the time, let's say? Yes, unfortunately.
I don't think we're gonna see any of these kids in anything upcoming anytime soon.
Right.
Could be wrong. Hope I'm wrong, but
the
I'm
middle,
not gonna gamble on it.
the older sister of the children, she looks like she's a female golfer with that stupid haircut.
Yeah.
The only guy in the family probably identifies as an amoeba. I don't know, with that haircut and the way things are in 2023. But I think that this is gonna be more. I think this is gonna be more than just a solid movie. I think it's gonna be a great movie. I'm putting all my chips and betting on red with this one. And it's weird because usually I've been thinking about it all day. Like, usually I get like, and don't get me wrong, I am excited about this one, but like usually I'm just waiting for a film to absolutely suck. Well, I don't want to say usually, but because obviously it'll be
Predominant amount of the time.
Predominantly the amount of time, because it's just what we get nowadays. Like, if a movie is presented or marketed as good, of course I'm going to be anticipatory for it. But, like, again, what have we gotten thus far this year? We've gotten Renfield and Scream 6 and Megan. It's like, dude, what the hell?
Track. I mean, what? Let's face it. I would rather watch Megan again than endure Renfield's trailer.
Oof. Yeah.
I mean, let's face that. I mean,
as much as Megan tried to be all campy and failed at that,
yeah.
The humor, I mean, let's face it, like, Renfield is supposed to be pure comedy with, splattering of blood, but
Nicolas Cage, what are you doing to yourself, man?
The humor in the Renfield trailer was just so cringe. Oh my god! Like look no further than my gut reaction of that movie last week that I posted. But we got 20 minutes till start time, so we're gonna wrap it up. I hope you enjoyed this inaugural Precaution video. I do invite you to take a look at all the content that has come out. If you're not watching the movie tonight, I do invite you to watch the content that I've released regarding Evil Dead Rise. I did a gut reaction to the trailer. I did a Tale of Two series comparing this sequel to the Scream sequel and where those franchises lie. Yesterday, I posted my Evil Dead rant, which I think it was about the remake, but it ties into Evil Dead Rise. And finally, I do ask that you come right back, because after we watch the movie, we're coming right back to give our Evil Dead Rise AfterShock.
Yes.
That'll be like a mini review of what our first impressions are of the movie.
Exactly.
So, I've been Inkarnate, reminding you, I ain't just a big deal, I'm the real deal. You're resigned to your fate? Time to subscribe to your fears.
Warn your friends. Warn everyone.